What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, we have to talk about this Indianapolis Colts offense. Go a little more in depth of just how crazy this offense has been for the Indianapolis Colts. And I mean, there's just a bunch of things that we can get into here. We could go forever on it, but we're going to try to do our best to condense it down as much as possible. But before we do that, just want to say this episode is sponsored by FanDuel. As it currently sits, guys, going into their Week 8 matchup, the Indianapolis Colts are a 14.5-point favorite over the Tennessee Titans. Definitely a big number there. And I will say this again for everyone that's wondering, you should probably smash the over on this again because we saw the last matchup that the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans had. I think the number of points scored in that game was 61, if I'm not mistaken. And here you have an Indianapolis Colts defense that is down a bunch of people right at this current moment. So just makes all the sense in the world if you're a betting person to take the over and then obviously taking the Colts to win this. Shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring. Cody, there's a bunch of different numbers here. And I want to start here with this one because it's the one that's been making the rounds this morning and late last night. So somebody tweeted this, Anthony something. I can't remember the last name, but they tweeted this, and this is a factual statement. The Indianapolis Colts have the highest points per drive of any team in the NFL this century through these first 7 games of this year. So right now, as it stands, the Colts are averaging almost 3.5 points per drive. So they're at 3.46. So just to give you an idea of the next 5 behind it, the number 6 team over the last century, so since the turn of this century, so since 2000, number 6 was the New Orleans Saints in 2018. That was with Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara and those boys. They had 2.96 points per drive. Number 5 was the Detroit Lions last year, and they had a 3.02 points per drive. Number 4 was the MVP Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers led team in 2020, where they had a 3.06. The number 3 was the Kansas City Chiefs in 2018, that first year with Patrick Mahomes, where Mahomes took over, and that was the best version of Kansas City we had seen under with Patrick Mahomes. They had a 3.12. And the number 2 team behind the Indianapolis Colts, the 2007 New England Patriots, who went undefeated that year and went to the Super Bowl. They did lose it, but they had a 3.91 or 3.19, I'm sorry. So the Indianapolis Colts are a 0.27 ahead of the next closest, best, efficient offense of this century. Now, obviously, the Indianapolis Colts, Cody, have a long way to go. There's another 10 games that still need to be played. So obviously things are going to change, could potentially change in the number. But you hear that and you see through 7 games, the Colts are the most efficient offense at scoring that we have seen in 25 years. I mean, what goes through your mind when you're hearing that number? Because it sounds crazy to me to hear that.
It doesn't seem like reality, especially considering all the question marks about this offense coming into this year. You know, it's just kind of wild how it's completely flipped from this Colts offense might not be very good this year. You know, who's going to be their quarterback, the debates, the disappointment, all that stuff. And now, like you said, we're sitting here right now with this Colts offense that's been as efficient as it is. It's crazy to me, man. It's just kind of a full circle sort of thing. It's just kind of wild that nobody in their right mind would have thought, anybody that watched this Colts team last year, we knew this offense had talent, But to this degree, it's unheard of. This is nothing that anybody could have predicted. But here we are, like you said, the Colts are uber efficient, and it's just wild to me how good they have truly been, Derek. It's just not even something that was even on our radar. If you would have said the Colts had a top 10 offense, we would have taken that easily, but let alone the number one offense in the last century. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, like you said, there's still a long way to go, but my gosh, dude, Shane Steichen's got this offense rolling right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And, it's truly incredible. I mean, just again, these are numbers, guys, that we have not seen before. Like, I mean, I don't think people are not going to give the Indianapolis Colts credit for it because it's just the Indianapolis Colts, but these are things that Tom Brady led offenses, Peyton Manning led offenses, Patrick Mahomes led offenses never did. They have never been this efficient. And that's crazy to think about. We're not insinuating that this Colts offense is the greatest offense ever, but in terms of efficiency and just how often the Indianapolis Colts score, it's just crazy. I think that they said that the Colts are scoring on 83% of their drives. And I think they said about another almost 10% of the drives they don't score, they come because of kneel downs at the ends of games. So, I mean, if you excluded those drives out of it when the game's over, the Colts are realistically scoring on almost 90% of every drive that they're on the field. I mean, it's just absolutely insane to even think about it, even through 7 games. And Cody, this isn't against nobodies. You face that Denver team that currently is on pace to get 70 sacks this year in the NFL, which would almost eclipse the 85 Bears for the most sacks ever. That team didn't sack Daniel Jones once. We scored 29 against that defense. And Arizona, for all the stuff that Arizona's been getting crap for, their offense now, they're much more efficient with Jacoby Brissett out there. We saw that firsthand. And they have a top 10 defense in the National Football League, whether people believe it or not. This Chargers team, who again, the Chargers, regardless how you want to feel about them, they are a really good team with a very sound defense, all things considered. And I think another reason, again, behind everything that we've seen, and Cody, this brings me to this other stat. This was brought up on the Pat McAfee show today. I don't know where the statistic comes from, but I know it's a true source. So it says Daniel Jones is responding to pressure better than any quarterback we've ever tracked. Ever. Says his 91.8 QBR when pressured would be the highest in a season in the history of the metric. Since 2006 is when they started recording QBR under pressure. The previous record was Josh Allen's 83.5 last year, his MVP season. And for context, Cody, the league average QBR versus pressure this season is a 27.8. So, I mean, it's not even the fact that Daniel Jones is just far and beyond the rest of the league. I mean, he is at MVP level ratings when under pressure and is better than every quarterback in the National Football League when being under pressure. Better than Josh Allen last year when he won an MVP. I mean, it's crazy to think about when you're looking at that, but it shows why this Indianapolis Colts offense has been so efficient. Because even in the terms of teams getting pressure on Daniel Jones, he is still making a ton of the throws that need to be made, even in those circumstances. And I mean, it just goes to show you why this offense is as good as it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been incredible to watch Daniel Jones just be so calm and collected under pressure, right? Whenever they're sending guys, Jones knows exactly where to go. And I just have to say, Derek, like the chemistry that is amongst these Colts receivers and Daniel Jones right now, it's incredible to see, especially because it doesn't look like Daniel Jones is a new quarterback to this system and to these players. They look like they've played together for years. So it's just incredible to see, like you said, the efficiency, no matter if teams are blitzing or not, it doesn't matter. Daniel Jones knows where to go with the football and he's delivering. And guys are understanding exactly what's happening, right? So yeah, it's pretty incredible that Derek, I think the most the Colts have allowed Daniel Jones to get sacked is maybe twice in a game. Like it hasn't been a ton this year
Yeah.
in general. I think maybe that Rams game might be the only game where that's happened. But typically the Colts have allowed either no sacks or one sack a game, which is just incredible. And also Daniel Jones has played a part in that, right? Because there's been times where he probably should have been sacked, but he gets away and scrambles or throws it away or whatever. So yeah, it's just been awesome to see Daniel Jones, and just what he's been able to do efficiency wise. Like you said, just the ways that he's been able to perform under pressure when teams are bringing guys, like it's incredible. And I think that's one thing that, Derek, when we talked about this competition that we didn't give Daniel Jones enough credit for is the dude is incredibly smart. Like he's one of the smarter quarterbacks in the NFL. Like him and Shane Steichen were meant for each other, man. They're both football gurus. And it's very obvious that is a match made in heaven there. So, yeah, it's been incredible to see Daniel Jones and just what he's been able to do, what he recognizes, and the ways the Colts have been able to counteract the blitz and things like that. You know what's kind of funny, Derek? You were talking about how the Colts are breaking all these records. And we know the stat that was, before this game, the Colts are, I think, 10 of 10 their last times in the red zone. You know what's kind of funny? That record got broken this last week. You want to know why that record got broken?
Why?
Because the Colts went down and kicked a field goal at the end of the first quarter, and they were technically, or the first half, and they were technically in the red zone. That's the only reason they got broken.
So the Colts broke their own record just because they couldn't score the touchdown the one time. And that's so funny.
Yeah, I heard that today. I was like, of course.
That's so funny.
That just goes to show you Colts are that good offensively right now.
And it's funny, too, because like J.J. Watt and I don't know who else was broadcasting with him, but it's kind of funny. They're wondering why the Colts didn't try to go for 7 at the end of the first half, too.
That's what
and
I was saying, man.
That's what everyone's saying is like if the Colts don't score a touchdown at this moment in time, it's a disappointment for them. I mean, that's the standard right now for the Indianapolis Colts is if they don't score a touchdown, that's a failure of a drive. I mean, that's how efficient this Colts offense has been. And, again, you had 8 drives against the Los Angeles Chargers, scored a touchdown on 5 of them. You scored a field goal on 1 of them. You punted on 1 of them, and then you basically ran out the clock on the other one. So you really only had 1 bad drive the entirety of that game, and it's felt like that the entirety of the year. And Cody, you were right. Denver did get 1 sack against Daniel Jones. 3 of the 5 sacks that Daniel Jones has taken this year have been in SoFi Stadium this year. 2 times against the Rams, 1 time against the Chargers. So 3 of the 5 sacks have come from 1 stadium. I mean, that's crazy to think about.
It's crazy because it's 5 sacks in 7 games. So it's not even a sack per game, which is just amazing.
Yeah, you're right. He actually, he got 1 sack against Arizona, but he did not get sacked against Miami, did not get sacked against Tennessee, and did not get sacked against the Raiders. So, again, another one there. And then, Cody, another thing that popped up today for me, and I saw this stat yesterday during the broadcast, and I wanted to bring this up because even after this, so during the broadcast, I think it was when the Colts had their second offensive drive. They said during the game, the Colts had 19 when it came to total punts, turnovers, and sacks given up this year. 19. That's it. So only 19 mistakes offensively all this year. They said that is the lowest number through 7 games in the Super Bowl era. It has never happened before. And after this Chargers game, that number went from 19 to 21. which is still the lowest in Super Bowl era. And I mean, again, it is another aspect of showing that the Indianapolis Colts offense is just on another level. We saw at the end of the game, the Colts have more than double the amount of touchdowns this year than they do punts through 7 games. I mean, you're almost halfway through the season and you have more than double the amount of touchdowns as you do punts. I mean, that is incredible numbers. And I mean, Cody, you're right. Like, it doesn't feel like reality because I'm like, how am I talking about these numbers with my Colts team right now? Like, because I mean, listen, honestly, you and I sat here 2 months ago when we heard that Daniel Jones was going to be the starter of this football team. And we sat here and we said, we thought the Colts made the wrong freaking decision. And I mean, you and I will have both said it numerous times that, we were wrong. We were dead wrong. And, everyone was wrong. But like, you're right. Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones, they were meant for each other 100%. They are on the same wavelength. Like it's rare you get times when a coach, a play calling coach and a quarterback are just in tune with each other 100% of the time. It doesn't feel like there's ever a lapse between what Shane Steichen wants to do and what Daniel Jones accomplishes, right? It just feels like it's always in sync and it's never jumped out of tone at all. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of other things that go into this, but I mean, of course, when you're talking about this offense, we are seeing the most efficient offense and at the end of this year, if this keeps up, the Indianapolis Colts could potentially have the most efficient offense that the NFL has ever seen, ever. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's not a wherewithal to think about. They could legitimately do that. Now they're going to have a much tougher road down the road, going against some much better defenses coming up on the back end of this. We'll see how that number continues to be. But Cody, I mean, I see a new stat every day that continues to just keep blowing my mind when it comes to this Colts offense so far this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek, it's funny because you said the Colts have had, how many punts have the Colts had this year? Not a whole lot, I would wager to say. 12 punts. Okay, so I'm just looking. So the fewest punts this is 16 games is 34 punts. So you think about that for a second. You've already played in 7 games, right? And you've had 12 punts. I'm just kind of like doing my math, like a little bit of math nerd here. So they've had 12 punts in 7 games. So that's roughly what, like 1.7
punts per game. That's about 1.
Less than 2 punts per game. So if you keep this pace up, Derek, for 17 games, you're going to break that record. I mean, you are in 17 games, mind you. That was only in 16 games. You're not even going to. You're going to get about 29 punts per game if you keep this up, which is insane. That's like blowing. That's like shattering. Heck, Derek, like the most punt or the least amount of punts ever was set by the Chargers back in the 82 season, but that was even a shortened season because of the strikes. So it's like, dang, you can even shatter that record, which is crazy. So if you keep this up, man, like you said, this offense continues to be efficient. You don't punt the football. That's going to be pretty amazing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what stat, Cody, is most impressive to me. The fact that you have 12 punts through the first 7 games, the fact that you only have 4 turnovers as a team in the first 7 games, or the fact that you've only given up 5 sacks. I mean, which stat makes you go crazier? I mean, honestly, which stat is crazier than all of these? I mean, every single one of these is like got to be number 1 when it comes to everything. So, I mean, again, that is another way that the Colts have been efficient. You're not turning the ball over. You're not giving up sacks, and Daniel Jones has been comfortable in that pocket because the offensive line is great. And because of the efficiency of being able to move the football, you haven't had to punt the football very often. I mean, again, the Colts didn't punt the ball till week 3. So, I mean, in all honesty, Cody, those 12 punts have come within the last 5 games. rather
Yeah.
than the first
Right.
two, right? So, I mean, it's crazy to think about right now because, I mean, again, I think the Colts had to punt 3 times or 4 times against the Rams, which skewed the numbers a lot. But yeah, I mean, I and I talked to a bunch of people last night, and I said, or they said to me, you know what, dude, I don't care what happens by the end of this season. Like, as it currently sits right now, I don't think I've ever had more fun watching a Colts football team than I have right now. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's some people that have watched the Manning era, or people that I consider family, that have told me that, and I'm like, dude, I'll be honest, I don't know if I can recount a day where I've been this excited about a team either. I mean, that's the feeling that the Colts have installed in this offense and this team right now, and you can just see that everybody is locked in and dialed in right now, and I'm loving it, Cody.
It's been a lot of fun, man. And it's been fun to see the Colts do stuff they haven't done in a while. Like, it's fun to see them blow out teams they should blow out, and win games against teams that they should win against, and that are tough teams that, honestly, Derek, like, I'll admit it, I didn't pick the Colts to win because it's like a PTSD thing. You just are like, I can't pick them almost because of all the disappointment in the past. But it's been fun, man. It's been a ton of fun. And really, this team should be 7-0, which is crazy to say about. You're a couple dumb mistakes by one player from being 7-0, which is pretty wild. But 6-1 is definitely exciting, man, with a chance to go 7-1 against a reeling Tennessee Titans team. I mean, Derek, this team in a couple of weeks could eclipse what you and I thought they were going to do the entirety of the season, which is just crazy to say that they could reach that mark right at the beginning of November, which is wild. So, yeah, it's pretty fun, though. I'm really excited, man, just about what this team is going to do. And this offense has certainly been a ton of fun. And, the job's not done, like you said, but gosh, it's been fun so far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And hopefully the Colts can keep riding this success. I mean, what would be absolutely great, best scenario that the Colts could have right now for the right now, Cody, is if the Colts win out to their bye. If they can
Yeah.
beat the Titans, if they can beat the Steelers, if they can beat the Falcons, then you can be 9-1 going into your bye week facing the Kansas City Chiefs, who at this current moment in time, people are weighing who's the best team in the NFL right now. Is it the Colts, who are, obviously doing great things, and Kansas City, who obviously has started to find their footing offensively, and they've won, what is it now, 3 straight in a row, and they're starting to figure out their footing a little bit. So, it's going to be fun, man. But right now, Colts fans, enjoy this, man, because you're right now living in the most efficient Colts offense that has ever been. So enjoy it. Just love watching it. And it is what it is. But that's going to do it for this one. Again, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring this episode. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this offense so far this year. Thank you so much. And as always, go Colts.